Hi guys, welcome to day 3 of your Instagram setup. I just want to say you guys are absolutely amazing. I am loving everything that's going on within our group. So today is all about creating high quality photos, what you should be posting, talking about your Instagram grid and your highlights. So let's dive right into that. So to create high quality photos, I always recommend using a camera that is 12 megapixels or more. I know sometimes this is a bit difficult to do. A lot of backward facing cameras have that in them now if you have a newer phone, as well as if you have a great Canon or anything like that, that really works as well. So like I said, your forward-facing camera is not as good as your backward-facing camera. So if you could even just set your phone up, set it on a timer, turn it around, and walk away from the camera is a really good way to capture images. You could also use high-resolution stock photos. So we had talked about Unsplash. That's a good place to just find some stuff if you are unsure of what to post or if you just don't have the high quality image that you need. So make sure whatever camera you are using is put to the highest resolution. All right, so let's talk about how you can create eye-catching images. Let's ditch the selfies because come on, like they aren't the most appealing photos. I mean, can we just talk about when you first turn on your forward-facing camera, what it looks like? A great way to do that is using a self-timer. Typically, any phone has, if you go into your settings, you can set it up to go, sometimes it's 2 seconds, 5 seconds, 10 seconds. I mean, usually there's options. That's a great way. So set up your phone so that way it's a bit away from you, and that's a really good one. And take multiple photos. So I'm sure if people looked at my phone, they'd think I was obsessed with myself. But having multiple photos gives you more options of what you want to choose out of. And sometimes also you get 2 or 3 really great images that you can use at different times. Also get someone to take photos for you. I know it's always a little awkward to have somebody else taking your photos, but if you do it with somebody that you're comfortable with, that always helps as well. I mean, I paid a guy 50 pesos to take some photos for me, which is like, what, $2.50? But to be honest, I don't think he really cared. Also, another great use is a tripod. So either if you have one of these, that's great, or I mean, I've used rocks to set my phone up on. I've used cliffs, you know, like different things around the house. That always works. Going outside and getting natural light is really, really great. As well as if you go at the golden hour, which is typically 1 hour before and after sunset or sunrise. It's just the lighting is so amazing and it really gives you a healthy glow to your skin. All right, let's talk about posing. I know it's always a little awkward, and I am sure that you've judged other people when you've seen them getting their photo taken, but come on, the pose is what it's all about. So something I recommend for that is check out some of your favorite Instagrammers. What poses are they doing? What inspires you? And then kind of recreate it. I mean, that's what I've been doing, and lately my photos have been turning out on point. So the last but not least, make sure you're not posting just to post. If you do not have a great image, not a high quality image, don't post it. You can post those ones in your stories, but I wouldn't recommend putting them on your feed. Your feed is what lives and breathes your brand. So you want to make it look the most professional and really draw people's attention to your page. All right, so let's talk about the do's and don'ts of posting. So I'd only recommend posting once a day. If you have more to share, make sure you're putting it in your stories. And then we're going to talk a bit about your grid, but make sure you pick a theme and stay consistent. So whatever overlay you're using, just keep using it. And make sure you use it on every single one of your photos. So mine, I always edit my own photos, but I do the exact same thing to each of my photos. Brighter photos typically perform better. Doesn't mean you can't use a darker overlay, but just make sure that there is a lot of light there. So you should definitely be including 30 hashtags for each and every post. We will be talking more about hashtags, and I will be giving you a list of hashtags that you can be using within the next couple days. And then make sure you're geotagging your location. So this is where you can add your location. You don't have to put it the exact spot if you don't feel comfortable. Even putting it in the relative area of where you are, or even in the country that you are, it helps people find you. Another great thing to do is tag the companies of products that you use in the image. So if you have, say, Canadian gloves from the Bay, you'd tag the Bay Canada. If you're wearing Lululemons, tag that. If you are wearing Gymshark, tag them. One, this is free advertisement for you. You are now showing up on their tagged posts, so anybody who's using their products are going to be looking at those images and they might come across yours. So that's always a great thing to do. Another reason why I suggest doing that is you can get companies to collaborate with you or to sponsor you. And by tagging your images, this will really help promote that you know what you're doing and companies are going to approach you. All right, so let's get some grid inspiration. Typically, I'm going to tell you having quotes is easiest way of keeping consistent. A big shout out to Melanie for her feed right over here. She is doing an amazing job. So I just wanted to showcase hers, as well as give you a few other examples of what you could be doing. So these are some of the quote ones you could be following. It depends if that's something you're interested in. These are a bit harder to recreate. Always staying consistent with colors. So if you have a certain brand color that you wear every single day, or that seems to always show up in your photos, then I recommend doing this. But it is a bit harder to do when you're just trying to really wrap your mind around the grid. And you know what? Doesn't mean you can't change your grid later on. But I would say make sure you're having 5 lines worth to be consistent with. So if you decide you want to change later on, just make sure that you have that amount because that's what you're going to be seeing. All right, so let's talk about your Instagram photo posts. So you want to be taking up the most space on your Instagram feed, because when someone's scrolling, you want to make sure they're seeing your photo. So 1080 by 1350 pixels would be absolutely ideal. I'll show you in Canva how you can create one of those as well. Same for your videos. This is a great way to use it. It just takes up more of the person's feed, so they're going to see for longer in their scroll. And then for your Instagram stories, I definitely always recommend doing a full pager. So even if you have an image that's in landscape, zoom in on it. It's better to take up more. I mean, the only way I would say to use a landscape is if you're going to be adding words in there or pull in there, something that you don't want to be over your image, but always take up the most room. You want to be more and not less, all right? All right, so here's some of my tools that I use. Believe it or not, there's a selfie stick tripod, and I love it. It also comes with a Bluetooth remote, so you can just stand back, take your photos. It's really great. I've used it a lot for some of my photos, and I definitely recommend it. There's a link here. You can just click on it if you do want to buy that. And then the selfie ring light and cell phone holder is really great. I'm actually using it right now to lighten this video. And it's great too because you can set up your timer and walk away. So it's almost like something that holds your camera for you. We're going to talk about Canva a whole lot more. And then we had already talked yesterday about Afterlight for editing your photos. So for your Instagram stories and highlights, it's all about the behind the scenes. You want to really drive, like showcase real life. You know, have you ever seen somebody who shares one of their struggles and you're like, oh yeah, that struggle is real. This is a great way to increase engagement, as well as connect with people on a very personal level. The highlights allow you to keep these stories alive for longer than the 24 hours that your Instagram story is up. By adding highlights, it definitely adds appeal to your page, and it gives people more of an insight of what you're about, all outside of the high quality Instagram images that you've been posting on your feed. So you also want your highlight covers to be consistent because of the look of it. It just looks so much better. So some of the tips I have for your Instagram stories is ask questions. There's, if you go to add a little sticker, the image of the sticker in the top right-hand corner, you can do a poll in there. You can ask a question. These are really great ways of also getting your audience to engage with you. And it showcases your real life. So, I mean, if something happens throughout the day that you think is hilarious, share it. If something happens that you're struggling with, share it, because you're probably not alone in these feelings. So here's some great highlight covers from women that are in this group. I hope everyone's okay that I shared this. I really, really loved some of these. There was a lot of other great ones too, but these were some of the ones that really stuck out. If you notice that they're all consistent, and that it tells you right underneath the image what that highlight is about. And for Sweat with Sonia, you notice in her highlights, it tells you what it's about, and then she just used emojis, which totally works as well. But make sure if your highlight image is not telling you what the highlight is about, that you are making sure you're writing underneath that highlight what it is. And then I'm going to hop onto Canva to show you how you can create those for yourself. So this is Canva. Anybody who hasn't used it or has difficulty with it, I will give you a couple of my tips for it. So one of the ways that you can create that full-size image for Instagram is you can make custom dimensions. So it was 1080 by 3500, I believe it was, and then create new design. And it'll just open up in there. And then, while that's loading, you can look up, so to create your highlight covers, you can just look up in here, Instagram story, and it'll pop up with all of the different layouts that you can choose from. Sorry guys, it's slow loading today. Sorry, that was definitely not the size. But see how if you choose the pixels, it will create whatever size image you choose. And then you could just go to your uploads, add your image, and then put it right in there. And then once your Instagram highlights open, so here's one of mine. So there we are. So this is the Instagram story. There's tons of different templates you can choose from. Like this one, if you wanted to do something a little more simple, you could just click that, add in the words if you wanted to have words, or if you want an icon, just go to Google and search different icons, and you can add that in there. All right, guys, so if you have any questions at all, just let me know. Yeah, and I want to see your new Instagram highlights, so make sure you're dropping them below. And yeah, thank you everybody for just being so into this and really taking the most out of it. If you need anything else, I'm here. All right, talk to you soon.